Kia ora, in the wonderful name of our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ. It's your boy Tzar, but as mentioned here in Rarotonga to most of the families, Tzar has been left behind in the world, and it's Teuira Williams, but no one as Tzar as well. Kia ora from your boy. So Cook Island's music started within the church, as most artists do. I think I was only 6 years old. Yeah, when you're going to church and when you have a church that's just all about culture and Christ, you have to get involved in pretty much everything that they do. So majority of the songs that's been played by the Tongareva groups that's been recorded under Vaimutu back then, they were actually our songs that we did for our kaparimas at that age. One well-known one was from Mututapu Boys, Poie. That was actually our dance when I was probably about 11 years old, and most of the composers are from that one church that we all grew up, Halaranga and Otara, and yeah, that's where the Cook Islands music started for me, and it was just an ongoing thing from the beginning, and just carried on. It wasn't an old one, but more later than when I became Tzar, and it's the one that really touches me is the one song that Tapunui sang, the one that I gifted them, which was Tapida Maila. That's one of the ones that's more close to my heart. So the song was written in 2006, but I think it was released in 2019. Yeah, years. I think it was just finding the right person to do it for me. And yeah, that one was, so when I came back, I came for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, I came for, the first part of the song was written in 2006, and then the last part of the song was written on my way back, and that was on the plane going back to New Zealand. And because of my first journey here, especially born here and not raised here is different. Raised in New Zealand and then coming back here. So I first came here in 2004 and my first time ever on the islands. But when I came as a New Zealander, a Kiwi raised kid, not knowing how to husk a coconut, not knowing how to clean the filter when it rains. Just thinking of how we grew up in New Zealand, we had it too easy. Then coming back here and how the song came about. There are a couple of guys here, my family, that they kind of helped me out through my time staying here. And some of them were my nephews and my cousins, close cousins, relatives, teaching me the real island life way. And throughout those times, as I got closer to my time leaving, that's when it hit me that, man, I needed to do something to say thank you to my family for looking out for me here. Yeah, and it was until on the flight back to New Zealand, the second part came about, and that's the part where I cried. I guess, at the time me and Pusa was doing our album, I realized that Tapunui was 2 songs down from the album, and they were trying to find something that will capture, probably a song that will ignite the people to come towards Tapunui. And I told Papa Anō that I had a song that I'd been holding for years, that I wasn't sure who I was going to give it to. Yeah, it was Wormsley when they were recording, and then they happened to be there. It was Hopini, Jerome and Dwayne. But before I even gave the song, I already sung the first part to them in Tahiti on our trip in 2009. Papa Noa didn't come with us. It was only Mama Toko and Kim's and the Tapunui. But that's where I first sung the first part. I sung that to Hopani and Twain. And then from there, it was gone. Until that day, I went to see Papa Noa. And then they were there, yeah. And I started singing it in Jerome straight away. We're gonna do that one. You know, so we ended up learning the song. They got it straight away, as they always do when they learn a new song. And that's when I knew that this was the right group to sing my song, to tell the story, to say thank you. And everyone here in Rarotonga and the ones in Penryn, also the ones in Australia, they knew of the song, but they were just waiting for the song to come out. And they weren't sure on who was gonna sing it, but they heard it. So every trip I went to, I'll sing it, but just the first part. And no one's ever heard the second part until Tapunui sang it. So yeah, it's a really heartwarming song to me. So when I hear it, most people ask me, what do you do when you hear your songs? Well, I just thank God for hearing my story. Yeah. But the second part is really the one that really gets me, because the words, yeah, it's really touching. Most people think that I'm the founder of Savaiki, but I'm actually not. The first ever Savaiki that came out was a group of Penryn boys, and John Buck was one of the originals of that group with me. Martin Nikoya got hold of me. He was still living in Aitutaki, and he asked for some help. He said, "Oh brother, please, you know, I'm a shy guy. I've never been out in the open more like you, and I need help. I need a hand to push his voice out." So okay. All I need you to do is fly to New Zealand. And it was literally just, I'm coming. For me and Martin, we're first cousins. My mother and his father are brothers and sisters. He was raised up in Aitutaki on the mother's side, and I was raised on my father's side. And then so, how it came about, so the old Savaiki finished. It was never a group to record or anything, it was just a group to entertain. And just as well, Martin got hold of me. Same time, Papa Noa asked about him. And I said, "Boss, I can get this guy over to New Zealand." So he's like, "Oh, we want him. We want him to come. If you can get him over, get him over." Because he's coming. So the week that he was planning to come, that was the week that me and Papa Noa was planning things. It was actually Papa Noa's idea to come up with a band for Martin. So there was no mentioning of Savaiki. So it was really a band to cover Martin. So because of the dream Martin wanted, we wanted to help him out in this way. The best way that Papa Noa thought was, okay, Tzar, I need you to grab a couple of boys just to come and be the backup singers for Martin. As it started, Papa Noa cancelled that plan and made the actual band. But I need you to find the right guys. So I contacted the guys that you know of Savaiki now. John Buck, can be honest, John Buck didn't want to be a part of it because he's been through it, through Halalanga Boys. He told me straight to my face, "Brother, my days are over." And I said, "To you, you think your days are over. But to me and to the one that we're going to help, you're going to play a big part of it." And he just said, "Okay, bro, I'll help out." Then I called Tom. For Tom, there was a lot of mucking around for him. He just had a lot of promises promised to him, and then nothing happens. He's been in a lot of bands as well. The band that we're gonna make a name for us. And not because of us, it's because of the people. It's gonna listen to the songs, and because of Cook Island's music. And Tom said, "Are you sure?" I go, "If I put my heart into it, I'm promising you, if you stick by me, I'm gonna go far." Then he said yes. And it was Ngā, young boy, new in the scene, he's never done it before, but we saw his passion, or I saw his passion, and I asked Tom, "What do you think about Ngā?" Tom was like, "I don't know, he's never done it before." Well, there's already enough of us old schools to help him out, to make him realise what the importance of this is. So he agreed. So I called Ngā, "I'll meet you at Tom's house, please." He said, "Oh, okay." So Ngā was always a guy that always looked up to Tom as a little kid. He would be the little kid just sitting at the outside with his little ukulele, listening and trying to play. So we got him in. So we had our first practice with Papa Noo, and he told us, "This is the plan now. We've got to scratch the plan that we had first. This is the new plan." I need you to go home and think of a name. So I went home and I called John and I told John, "What do you reckon?" He was came up with different names, but the one name that stood out for me was Savaiki. So I asked John, "How about Savaiki? Do you think the guys are alright if we use Savaiki?" He was like, "I came up with that name." Yeah, so he came up with the name Savaiki. And the story behind Savaiki is like, it's a universal name. It represents everyone. They have a different way of pronouncing it, but it's the same place. So you're out in Savaiki, you go Savaii, you go Hawaii, Hawaiki, Avaiki. So it's all the same. We told Papa Noo, Savaiki is the name. And he said, "That's the name." Yeah, but I think that's why the uniqueness of Savaiki is we put the Lord first, and then we also cater for all rather than just our own. 2 weeks later, after the forming of the band, Papa Noo says he needed a female singer. And we were like, "Oh, we don't have any." Then he goes, "I have one." He goes, "Who?" "Tana." I'm like, "Oh, no. She'll never do that." He goes, "Why?" He goes, "She's never done that before. She's like a churchy girl." So I kind of helped her get to that stage, and because her love for me, and she knew how passionate I was about music, especially Cook Island's music. I asked her and I said, "Oh, do you mind singing at a show?" Or, "No, okay, I know one person that's going to talk to you, that can talk to you." And then I introduced her to Papa Noo Pare. And just on the first day of her meeting with him, the next day, we went home all that night, and she said, "Whatever you want me to do, I will support you." And this is how she came about for Savaiki. And yeah, that's the story of Savaiki. That's how it was formed. And